Good morning, good afternoon, family. Looks like I am connected to Facebook and YouTube. Wonderful. I hope everyone's having a great day today. I am starting just a tad early, so if you're just joining me, I'd love you to say hello in the comments. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. Yesterday was a crazy day for Facebook, apparently. I couldn't see any of your comments. They were extremely delayed in coming through, but I do appreciate all of you that commented, and I hope that my message was well received and that the delay wasn't a problem there as well. So say hello if you can hear me. Hey, Will, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining me. Can you hear me? Yeah, I guess you can hear me okay, or you'd already told me. Sight and sound. Angela, great to see you. It's been a little while, I think, but always pleasure to have you. I did get a haircut. Thank you very much. I appreciate the comment, Angela. So yesterday I asked y'all a question about, well, what did I ask you? Yesterday I asked you about the excuses we make internally, right? Why do we stay in that place that we're at? And we make, what excuses are we making to stay there? You know, the backflips and the weird craziness that we come up with, we concoct these fancy excuses for why we stay in the misery that makes us comfortable. And maybe it's not misery, but comfortable and secure could also equate to, could also equate to misery, right? Limiting beliefs is absolutely one thing I definitely want to talk about. Andrew, good to see you. Thanks for commenting. Excuses, yes, that's what we were talking about yesterday, making excuses. And so I had an interesting, on Tuesday mornings I participate in, it's not really a mastermind, but it's more of a growth and productivity group. But for all intents and purposes, it's just a small mastermind. And on this morning's call, we talked about a couple things, and it just made me think about yesterday's conversation. And I came across the quote, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And I think that fear is really why we make those excuses. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of all of the things, whatever it may be, right? Those are the reasons that we're making those excuses not to pursue the things that we should be pursuing, the things that we really want out of life. And we tend to get stuck in this uncomfortable comfort. Uncomfortable comfort. I think that's a good way to say it, right? We get into this routine, this day-to-day that we're comfortable with, and we tell ourselves these excuses because we're fearful of what may be on the other side. And people will tell you, and maybe let me check the comments. Let's see. No comments yet. Okay. So people will tell you that the only way to overcome those fears is, to eliminate them. And I don't think that that's true. We had a conversation this morning, and one of the gentlemen said that you have to walk with that fear. You embrace it and walk with it, but still working towards moving to the other side of that fear and discovering what is possible for you. It's okay, Angela. It's an interesting emoji to put. It just looks thoughtful. Thank you. Yeah, Andrew says, fear is deep in the roots. I agree, man. And after thinking about it last night and this morning, that's exactly why we make these excuses, is the fears that come to light when we think about the things that could be possible. I'm not doing that thing because I'm not changing my family dynamic because of the fear. What if? But the question you should be asking is, what would it make possible for me if I embrace those fears and I walked out to see what was on the other side. That's what I wanted to tell you today is that, yeah, no, absolutely. Andrew says the roots, because they need to be dug up and exposed. And it's true. You truly need to dig in and understand what is keeping you in that uncomfortable comfort zone, that area of life where you have accepted where you're at and you're not ready to make a change, but understanding why you're not ready to make that change and uncovering those fears, deciding that you're going to pursue something better. Now, I want to be clear. Good afternoon, Laura. Great to see you. I want to be clear that it's not about selfishness. I had someone comment on a post I made on Facebook the other day, and they talked about collateral damage. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. I've never claimed to have all the answers, but when we make a change that impacts more than just our individual selves, do those people around you that might be affected, do they then become collateral damage? And no, I don't. I certainly think it's possible, but I don't think it has to be that way. I think if we're making decisions that are definitely within our best interest, then we're enabling other people to do more for themselves. We're enabling other people to, get in touch with where they are. Maybe they're not ready for it, but that doesn't mean that my actions create collateral damage. Again, I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm talking about enabling people to live their best selves, to live their best lives. That's what I'm working on here, right? I'm working on learning how to live, to love, to have fun, to enjoy the people, the things, and all the stuff around me, all of the wonderful opportunities that are created. That's what I'm really talking about. And I don't believe that that's selfish. If people are impacted along the way in a negative way, that means one of two things to me: that I either haven't done a good enough job of doing the right things all along, or they're not ready to do the right things. I'd love to hear your thoughts about any of this. The short thought today was really the quote, "Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of that fear." You just have to do the work to dig up what is the fear, why is it a fear, and what do you need to do to walk with that fear to achieve the things that you deserve to achieve. You deserve to live your best life. Every one of us, every one of you deserves to live your best life. What do you have to do to get there? And how do you ensure that the decisions you make are enabling you and everyone around you to live the life that they were supposed to live? So again, a fairly short message today. Just a couple thoughts about, extending from our conversation yesterday. Yeah, Andrew, we've talked about that. Andrew says misery loves company. And absolutely. So here's, if we are miserable, we certainly want those around us to experience some of that misery. Maybe we're not trying to make them miserable, but if we are comfortable in our own misery and we are going to wither away silently, we're going to do our best to drag people around us down with us. And I don't want that for anybody. And maybe that's conscious, maybe it's subconscious, it doesn't matter. The misery does love company. And I encourage you to, to not be miserable. If you're miserable, chances are someone else is miserable. And if they aren't right now, maybe they will be in the future. So what change do you need to make today to enable the best life for everybody? That's another good question. And Will says, yeah, you really can't take care of others if your own house isn't in order. That's right. And maybe my actions do create collateral damage, but if I'm working on becoming the best version of myself, it might take me making some mistakes along the way. It might take me making other people uncomfortable along the way. And if they're not ready for it, that's outside of my ability to control. I can only control the decisions and the choices that I make. And I can do my best to limit the negative impacts to those that might be affected around me. But again, it comes down to, I need to get my house in order. You need to get your house in order. And then we can enable other people to live their best selves and their best lives, right? Whether they choose to embrace it or not is a different story. Yeah, Andrew, we talked the other day about the black crabs, the Hawaiian black crabs. And that, I think that was Friday. But that's what you're talking about right there. Others want to drag you down too. And you absolutely need to surround yourself with people who are a positive influence in your life, people who aspire to do more, that aren't just settling for status quo, right? If they're settling for status quo and you desire to achieve more, you're not going to be a pairing. It's not going to be a good match. That's what I really love about this workspace I'm in, is the people around me, all of them desire to achieve something more. They aspire to bigger things. They're naturally curious. They're fun. And I just love being able to interact with them here. It just continues to inspire me to be better. And as always, of course, you guys coming here inspire me to be better, makes me think, it challenges me to think about what might be most beneficial to share. And again, I come back to these last few broadcasts have not been planned. It's what's on my heart, what's on my mind, what are the things that I'm facing, and how can I share those with you to encourage you, inspire you, or provide you with some resources that are going to enable you to do more. Because I told you last week that until you're able to do more and to live your fullest, best life, I don't feel like I'm able to. And the more you live your best life and your purpose, the more I'm able to live my best life and my purpose. And so for that reason, I'm grateful to all of you. Food, Laura says, a lot of food for thought. And short message, but nutrition for the brain. I think that's what you meant there, Will. Hey, as always, I am very grateful for all of you. I'm here for you. I believe in each and every one of you. Good to see you all. And, well, what's today? Tuesday. Yeah, so I'll see you again tomorrow. I hope that you have a wonderful day. As always, reach out to me if there's anything I can do for you. Take care.